Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't want to interrupt.
No,
Did you guys want to
no.
do a podcast?
Maybe. Are you
Or
ready?
did you need to catch up?
Listen, Liza, you just get your shit together and do the intro. Stop monkeying about. What the hell is wrong with you?
Hey there. Welcome to Motorcycles and Misfits. Coming to you from the Recycle Garage in sunny Santa Cruz, California. And I said that with honesty.
Boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Did the sun come out today?
Oh, good day. I wore my shorts.
I know.
Yeah. Okay.
No, actually, you've got decent legs. Your knees are all smashed up, though. Look at this.
Well, that's because
Look
she's
at
on the
those
second
surgery
set.
scars.
I know. Hey, everyone. This is Liza, and let's see who is here with me in the studio. It's always a good guessing game, isn't it? Play along. See if you got it right.
Well, you already know I'm bloody here, don't you?
Well, of course,
Who
on the
are
classy
you?
girl couch, it's Miss Emma.
Hello, darlings. Yes. Hello. Hello. Back from my road trip. So we can do a little report on that a bit later on, but it's simply lovely to be here.
There's a lot of road reports.
Yes.
Get to them. To my right. You know, every day I learn a little bit more about the man, the myth, the legend.
Legend in his own mind.
This facade does not truly represent the real hippie within. It's Neal.
Hey there, party people.
And my point exactly. And showing up just in time for the show. Thank you very much. It's Scottie.
Right on time. So glad to be back.
Right on time. And of course, we can always rely on the Bagler, though he was not on time.
I show up eventually, you know.
How's things in Velveeta, Bagler?
It's lovely late spring day today.
Okay.
We're like mid-70s, sunny. It's beautiful.
So the cheese is melting.
It's very warm and soft, yes.
Oh, like a good brie, nice and stinky.
Yes.
I came through your neck of the woods on the way home, and it was pretty hot, pretty toasty up there.
It got pretty hot actually last weekend.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was roasty.
Yeah, that's when I was there.
Very good.
Should let me know next time.
I was just moving through.
Even though it was a nice warm day in the garage and a lot of people were there, not a lot got done. It was a lot of just the old sitting around shooting the shit, wasn't it?
Well, there's nothing wrong with that.
No, not at all. I put out the cookies early. We're still going through them. If you're a little...
Yes.
Delicious
Cookies.
dish.
Now, if you suck them a little bit, you don't crunch into the microphone, which I think is a good method.
I think based on the brand of that cookie, you might be asking her to go too far.
Well, I know.
I only suck the head. So we,
Good
but
Lord.
I will say,
Nobody here listening knows that
for the
they're
gutter.
nutter
Here we
bars.
go.
Aren't they Lorna Doone cookies?
I'm talking about crawfish. What are you guys talking about?
Oh, radio.
Of course we were
Good
talking
cookies.
about
Gosh.
sea bugs. Yeah.
Crayfish
Head
or
out of the
crawfish?
But I wanted to give a big thanks to Emma who diddled the Harley.
Yeah, and I mean, I always like to set up carburation just so. And I did set up the carburation on the Harley just so, but it's a tiny, tiny little lean spot on it. And I think it was more down to, Liza's just handed me some Boston Wickedly Good Mint, so I'm going to try one of those in a minute. But it was a tiny little cough right off of idle. Yeah, but you
That's what
couldn't
we did.
really feel it, but so I just shimmed up the needle and it runs great. You know, that's all it
You have
needed.
an amazing talent of just sticking your finger up in something and then it just works better. Have you tried that yet, Scottie?
Not with Emma, but you know.
May I open
I think
these?
that helps
Liza?
all of us.
Oh, okay. Very good. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's called diddling, darling. It takes years of practice.
I replaced the headlight bulb. But, Neal, you got to ride both of my new bikes.
I did. The NX 250, which is a very nice bike, would be a great addition to somebody's back bumper bracket.
Yeah.
I highly recommend it, and I'm sure the price is right, and it runs good. It seems the brakes work. Everything's working great on that bike.
I wonder why those bikes weren't more popular back in the day.
I think it was a bike looking for an image.
I mean, today they look sweet. I mean, they look very nice.
It was kind of ahead of its time. It was an adventure bike before it was an adventure bike.
Yeah.
And if I could point out that the Honda Rally Raid, the CRF Rally Raid, sold lousy as well. So, yeah, it seems that in that segment, people either want really off-roady, at least styled bikes, or street bikes, but this kind of cross between the two.
Are the bikes you're talking specifically about like domestic North American sales or global sales?
No,
because it feels like there's a lot bigger market.
Yeah, no, I'm talking America right now.
I mean, they sold much better over in Europe and Asia. But no, it's a sweet little bike. And then the Harley Davidson, I mean, it doesn't need anything. Now it runs even better. It's just such a whale of a bike to store here. And every time I want to get something out, I got to move it.
What does it weigh?
850.
Oh, my word.
Yeah, I was going to say close to 900, but yeah, you would know.
What's a Steinway?
I think
it's a really nice piano.
Exactly.
Musical device.
So let's get to, we got a lot of ride reports. I will give a short one. Neal, did you do the Vampires Rally?
I did not.
You did not. So nobody here did the Vampires Rally, but they did do something kind of cool on Friday night that I will share that I got to witness in person. So they had...
Stop.
What?
There are going to be people listening who have absolutely zero idea who the vampires are.
What's a vampire?
The vampires are our local motorcycle club, of which many of our members of the garage are also members of.
How did they get the name, the vampires?
Are you tracing it back to
I am indeed.
Santa Carlita?
Santa Carla?
Santa Carla.
Yeah.
Well, calm down, because I'm telling a story.
Yeah,
well, all right, but I think you should flesh it out a bit, Liza.
Well, just bear with me here. So one of the things that they do down here at the boardwalk, the beach, which is down the street, is during the summer they do Friday night movies. And this was kicking it off. And one of the ones they play every year is The Lost Boys.
Such a classic.
Because it was filmed
for Sutherland
here, and a lot of it at the boardwalk.
In Santa Carla.
In Santa Carla.
Yeah.
We've got a vampire problem.
Filmed in Santa Cruz, set in Santa Carla.
Exactly. And so many films have been filmed down here, but that's probably
I would say it's probably one of the most famous, yeah.
And so the Vampire Motorcycle Club was named because of the vampire problem here in Santa Carla, Santa Cruz. Anyway, so they were playing the movie on the beach, and this is a big deal every year. Everyone comes out to see it. And this year, they brought out one of the stars of the film. I remember, Corey Feldman has been here before.
Here a couple times, right?
Yeah. But this time, they brought out Jameson Newlander. Do you know who Jameson Newlander is?
Does not ring a bell.
He was one of the Frog Brothers. He played Corey Feldman's brother.
Oh,
okay. They were the true vampire hunters in the film. And so they had him set up on the boardwalk doing autographs and meet and greet. And there was a huge line. It was supposed to end at 8:30 and went to 9. There were so many people in line to get a photo with him. And they were selling Santa Carla t-shirts and stuff like that. It was really cool. Anyway, the boardwalk had arranged a fun thing. They had reached out to the vampires and said, hey, we have Jameson, who's going to be one of the Frog Brothers, who's going to be signing autographs. And we thought it'd be fun if the Vampires Motorcycle Club pulled up and kidnapped him. Right? So I'm like, I want to see this. So I went down there to watch. And it was much more calm than that. He was done and he walked out to where the railroad tracks are. And where the club had parked up there on the tracks waiting. And then they did a whole photo op like he was being kidnapped, no helmet. And Charlie was the chosen one.
Brilliant.
Nice.
And they did just a bunch of photos, group photos and stuff with him, of which I got one.
Yeah, Charlie does look pretty vampiric.
Yeah, this is
and he can be trusted to ride with somebody.
The guy getting on the back of the bike, and they're all up there, and then they all take off, and they just drove him to his car.
Hey,
Dropped him off at his car. But it was just a fun little thing to be included in this thing and create this whole like scenario.
Fabulous.
That is actually not my favorite film that was filmed in this area.
Wait a minute.
Oh,
The
you're not
Sting.
done. No.
Us.
No.
Sudden Impact.
Killer Clowns
Oh,
from
dang it.
Outer Space. And, well, there's a double thing going on here, because Killer Clowns from Outer Space was actually filmed in Watsonville, which is 15 minutes up the road. Not only that, my dear friend Ed, who paints all my bikes for me, who's an absolute genius with the air gun, is in Killer Clowns from Outer Space. And you can see his scene quite easily. There is this great scene with a bunch of bikers, and this clown shows up riding a tiny little tricycle. And there's an ugly scene with this clown, and he kind of gets intimidated by one of the bikers, who actually says to this clown, "What are you going to do? Knock my block off?" And the clown just punches him and knocks his head off. It's a hilarious scene. And in the background is Ed. And you can see him because he's this goofy-looking guy with a big grin and a flat-top haircut. He is so, like, of the period. So that is absolutely my favorite Santa Cruz film.
So the other kind of cool tidbit to the whole vampires being involved thing is that there's a couple members, I know Keith is one of them, I believe, who were extras when they filmed, when they needed bike club members for Kiefer Sutherland's, bike gang. So some of them were actually extras. And then we're there for the...
And what year was the film done? It was 80s,
85,
wasn't it?
maybe?
Mid-80s,
It was 87 or 88, I think.
But, I mean, the vampires as a club didn't really exist before... Well, I mean, it
No, the
exists...
vampires have been around a long time.
Yeah.
But just a fun little thing.
Yeah, yeah.
And then they had a whole rally, camping, and it's funny. Bagel, have you attended any of the vampire rallies in the past?
Yeah, I've been to a few of them.
They used to be a lot looser, more fun, a little more dangerous, fast ride, and then dumb games. Now it's like family camping. Mike and all the people bringing their kids out, and more of like it's so morphed into not the badass biker club. Now it's just like the family weekend and a nice ride.
I think you and me have actually been on a vampires ride together, Bagel. You were on your GTS, and I had borrowed. I might have stolen it, but I think it was borrowed. Liza's Connie.
God.
Yeah. Your concourse, just when you first bought your concourse. So that was a good few years
I took it on one ride and then I dismantled it.
Yeah, I rode it more than you.
And then I sold it for $200. Yeah. But Emma, you have an interesting ride.
Yeah, and I mean...
Were there any vampires?
There were no vampires. There was a brief scene with "So I Married an Axe Murderer." We went past one of the scenes in that film. It's a ride I try and make every year when I'm able, and it's been a couple of years since I did it last. I absolutely adore going up to Northern California. So it's a ride I did this year with my dear friend Mike McCarthy, and we were both on big 4-cylinder carburetted bikes. He was on his Z-Rex and I was on Rufus, of course. And we took Highway 1 north, through Santa Cruz, through Half Moon Bay, through Pacifica, 19th Street, went across the Golden Gate Bridge. And then once we got into Sausalito, we turned left and went to Stinson Beach, picked up Highway 1, then took Highway 1 all the way up to Fort Bragg.
Yes.
Spent the night in Fort Bragg, and then cut across Highway 20 to Willits, and then continued north through Avenue of the Giants, and ended up just this side of Eureka, had some lunch, and then turned around and came back.
You went all the way north.
Yeah.
You went all the way north.
Well, she stayed in California.
You stayed in California?
Yeah, you went. But, I mean, to me, California, that part of California is the destination.
It's so beautiful, isn't it?
And it's a nice... We do this over 3 days. It's a perfect 3-day trip. And if you find yourself at your most northern point at lunchtime on the second day, which of course we did, it's perfect.
What bike did you ride?
Rufus, the RF 900.
And what did Michael ride?
Z-Rex 1200.
Oh, okay.
Very good riding. And, I want to extol the virtues of big, carburetted, kind of sport touring bikes. I mean, the Z-Rex is, it's a bike kind of looking for an image. I mean, it looks like a pit bull, but it's a very, very mild-mannered bike. It's more of a Labrador Retriever. It's just a very, very sweet bike. I mean, they look like a complete thug, but it's far from it. Nothing could be further from it when you ride one. They're very civilized, they're very smooth, they're very quiet. It's a very, very nice bike to ride. And it's one of the few bikes I would ever consider replacing Rufus for, but I never will.
Would you consider this a naked sport bike or a muscle bike?
Oh, it's...
Ooh, exactly.
Because,
Or a naked sport muscle bike.
Ooh.
I think it's a retro.
Oh, okay.
I think it's a retro because it's based on... You could argue that it's a modern take of an Eddie Lawson rep from the early 80s. So back in the early 80s, Kawasaki did the I can't remember, it was the 1100R, the lime green ones with the bikini fairing.
Scottie's looking around as I am because I'm like, do I have one?
Do you have an Eddie Lawson?
I think I do.
No, that's the modern one. No.
You're on the right track.
I mean, they kind of look like
the
that.
walls looking for these motorcycles.
But the ZRX, it was an interesting bike. I mean, time moves on. I mean, the ZRX 1100s were firmly in the 90s, and then the 1200s came in right around the turn of the millennial. They're very cool bikes.
I love what you're getting at, which is that just because these bikes happen to be more than a few years old doesn't really mean anything.
No, it doesn't.
They work so well.
Yeah. Well, and that's the whole point.
That's how I feel about the FJ 1200 that I used to have.
Can I would like to pinpoint that because I've thought about this. For instance, my 990 SMT.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And even though that bike is getting older and older,
yes,
I realize my level of expertise will never exceed its ability. Therefore, I will never outgrow it.
And I think that's true of a lot of bikes. I mean, so if we distill it down to how me and Mike behaved on this weekend, we cruised everywhere at 85, 90, which is a perfect cruising speed. He was kind of tucked in a little bit behind the bikini on the ZRX, and of course I've got a fairing. At 85 miles an hour, both of the bikes returned a shade above 40 to the gallon. Neither bike missed a beat. Neither bike scared us in any way with any peculiar handling characteristics. And we were riding in a spirited way, especially when you get really up on Highway 20 is a perfect example, is a very, very winding road.
Very.
And they were just absolute darling bikes to ride.
I have a question for you.
Yes.
We have our own redwood groves here that we can go ride through.
Yes, we do.
Minutes from here. Is it worth it visiting the Avenue of the Giants? Is it much better, or is it just another beautiful road through redwoods?
That's a difficult question to answer because Santa Cruz in itself and Monterey, where I live, are both incredibly popular tourist destinations and both worthy tourist destinations. I wouldn't want to diminish, the redwood groves here because they're local.
Well, the other thing is you can ride through Redwood or Avenue of the Giants here. Your best visibility is going to be to hike in Henry Cowell.
Right.
To see the...
I mean, I think the advantage, the reason I like the Avenue of the Giants is the road has clearly been cut through the trees. And I mean, there are places where the trees are actually encroaching onto the road. And And
the road's encroaching onto the trees, I would say. but
right,
yes.
exactly. And I mean, it's quite harmonious. You just pull off, and these things, the scale of them is mind-boggling. I mean, there are trees that are 30 feet across.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
And those
the
are
ones that
young ones.
The ones that are that scale that used to be around here have all been logged or most recently burned.
Right, and and I
burning
think
doesn't kill him.
No, it obviously doesn't.
Not always.
that was one of the saddest, most poignant parts of the trip. Once we actually started getting north of Davenport, we saw the scale of the burn up there, and I saw it from an aircraft. I think a year after the burn, and it was depressing seeing it then. And it's coming back, but my God, it's slow.
So I'm actually impressed by your choice of taking Rufus, which I know is not it's more of like a touring sport bike. It's a sport bike.
It's a sport
And
touring bike with
Emma,
sport
do
in
not take this
capitals.
the wrong way. But many of us go through this as we get older. It's not as comfortable to be in that riding position, and you're still hanging in there.
I find I can spend more time on Rufus than I can on the Harley. By far. Because you pick your poison. You look at the way I'm sitting on that bike and you think I'm hunched over, but it's not. It's not a particularly radical riding position. It's a forward riding position, but it's not radically forward. It's not like an R6.
Yeah.
You know, an R6 or an R1M.
Yeah.
These are very radical riding positions.
Well, but still, just having the pegs a little behind you, which it is.
But, you know, when you're at speed
forward.
and that air is keeping you up a little bit, and you do the sort of the classic, how many times have you been following somebody on a sport bike and they're kind of sitting up with one arm on their leg?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and that's kind of like this classic sport bike pose if you just start getting a little tired. But it was a very, very easy ride for me, and I didn't get beat up at all, and it was wonderful. It was
Nice.
we did just a shade under 1,000 miles.
Now, you did an overnight.
Yep,
2 nights, right?
2 nights.
You had something interesting happen.
Yes. So, I mean, I wasn't
Maybe
gonna
leave the name out. I don't know.
No, I mean,
Go
I
for it.
don't.
If it happened, it happened. Be honest.
It happened, and I think there's lessons to be learned here.
I'm curious what that lesson is.
Yeah.
It happened.
So, we get to a little bit outside Fort Bragg.
Mm-hmm.
We think, we better find ourselves a hotel. So, we were about a couple of hours ahead. So we go on to Motel 6, and Mike's a great advocate of Motel 6. And I'm inclined to agree with him. They're very basic, but generally they're mostly clean. And we found, I know, and we found a Motel 6 in Fort Bragg, and it was clean. And it was passable. I mean, there was a lot of broken stuff in the room, and the hotel was under construction, but it wasn't a bad stay. So we thought, okay, night 1, perfect. Night 2, we actually get into Santa Rosa, and we'd left it a little bit late, and we were tired, and it was about 7 o'clock. We think we need to find somewhere to stay for the night. And we just have a look. Oh, the Days Inn by Marriott. What could go wrong with that?
Everything.
So we book. Mike goes through Expedia, and I think he paid $100. I went directly through, I think it's the Choice Hotels group, and I paid like $90 for the same room. And we get there. It's in an interesting part of town. There are...
So I'm wondering if the lesson learned is if I'd only paid $10 more.
Well, hang on. We're gonna get there. So we pull into the parking lot, and there are cars without wheels in the parking lot, and I'm like, okay. And there's just garbage everywhere, being sort of blown around by the breeze, and all these interesting characters who seem to have lost most of their teeth, standing on pretty much every corner, being sort of just hanging out. And I'm like, this is a little sketchy, but, it'll be okay. It'll be okay. We're just here for one night. And Mike's like, yeah, you know what? I think I'm going to go to Walmart and just get a padlock and chain for the bikes and, chain them up just to make sure.
Did you have a down and out room? Outside, downstairs?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, so, the bike was literally parked outside my door. Anyway, I got it, opened up the room, and it walked in, and clearly somebody had been smoking weed in there. So I'm like, okay, well, it's like, we're going to make this work. And I pull back the sheet, and the bed was full of dried blood. I'm like, okay, I am out of here.
Yeah,
and I called Mike, and I said, we're leaving right now. And meanwhile, I told Mike why. He's down in reception, and apparently, this poor kid on reception, he was giving me a refund before I'd even arrived. And I apologized to him, and I said, look, kid, I know you're just trying to do your job, but we just need somewhere safe and clean to spend the night. And I don't think this is either. And he was inclined to agree with us. And I'm like, oh, man.
Poor kid.
Yeah, exactly. I felt bad for him.
I used to think it was like a fun adventure to stay at the cheapest hotel until I stayed in a room where somebody was robbed at gunpoint outside my window.
Oh.
And the phone rang the entire night because the last occupant of the room was a drug dealer.
Right.
So people were calling to get to score. And I'm like, nope, not doing this ever again.
Yeah, and so the irony is, when we'd pulled off the freeway to make a call, there was a very nice hotel, I think it was a Wyndham, that was right there. And we said, shall we stay there? Nah, it looks too expensive. And in the end, by this time, I'm like, I'll stay anywhere because I'm tired. I want...
Take my money, please.
It's kind of the
I want
hour.
food.
Yeah.
I want a shower. I want my bed. And so I go see this nice kid in reception again. And I said, look, this is what happened. He's like, oh, my God. He said, I'll tell you what. I'll do you a really good deal on the room. And he got us a suite where there were two completely separate rooms, both with beds in them, and a jacuzzi in the room.
Wow.
And breakfast included, and I'm talking eggs, bacon, sausage.
There you go.
For less than...
The 2 rooms over
The
there.
190.
Yeah.
Good.
For
Wow.
way less. So, cheapest is not always best. But, I felt bad because, at heart, I see myself as a working class gal. And I specifically remember saying to the kid, look, I don't want you getting into your head that I think I'm better than this. Because that's not it at all. I just need somewhere safe. I just need...
Emma, you are better than bloody sheets. I'm going to give you that one.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, and that's basically,
That's gnarly.
You are.
Yeah, exactly.
There you go.
you know...
Yeah, we all deserve better than that.
Yeah.
Everybody.
Bed bugs, I don't know,
sheets.
even par. But,
Yeah.
And I've stayed in motel rooms before where there are roaches in the corner, but you come to an arrangement with them. You take this side of the room, the roaches can take that side of the room. And that was in Stockton.
well,
But,
I'm curious now.
yes.
Scottie,
Yes.
you went on a road trip further north. Did you stay in seedy hotels?
No. I don't stay in hotels. I just sleep in the dirt on the side of the road.
There you go.
I am one of the bugs.
So,
Well, no,
so
it's-
wait,
I think
so bloody
it's
sheets are
safer.
above you.
I guess. I mean, yeah.
So, Scottie, tell us about your trip.
Oh my God. This is like, I feel like this is so much more than just a trip report. I have the social media got me. The social media's got me because the people who've been advertising for this rally called the Dreamroll.
Yeah, I know about it. It's about 7, 8 years old now, maybe?
Yeah, it's about 7 or 8 years old.
Yeah.
The people who are doing the marketing, they got my number and suckered me in. Not even just suckered me in. They worked. It worked. Like marketing worked. They found their audience, and I bought a ticket.
It's a women's moto rally that's for like hip, cool, fun women who want to also, do they have like a skateboard ramp? And
Yeah,
like,
skateboard
it's
ramp.
just like,
and,
you know, the cool kids.
but
God,
like,
that sounds like hell.
It
and
was-
a lot of Insta models, right?
Oh,
nah,
God,
not so many.
Not saying they're not real riders, but like, you know.
Everybody I met there was a real legit
Yeah, they're real riders.
motorcycle person.
But there's
and-
also a lot of like image and style.
Well, you know, you got to
Yeah.
sell the event, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, it is a women's motorcycle rally, and I would advocate for any woman motorcycler to pay attention and get this on their calendar for next year. But I went this year, and it was freaking awesome. I also I made it into a little bit of an adventure and took the long way there.
Of course you did.
And
Oh, what bike did you take?
I just texted you some pictures.
Ugh.
Yeah, I took my Husqvarna 701 Enduro,
Okay.
and to say, but yeah, it was
Yep.
epic camp out, and it's at a like a 4-H campground, and hot, warm showers and good food, and jumping in the lake and fooling around, and 400 or 500 motorcycle hotties. It was great,
Nice.
absolutely epic.
Now, I'm reminded of Babe's Ride Out down in Southern California, which
Yeah.
I've been to a few, and they're quite adamant about guys not being there, manning the booths, doing like guy things, I suppose.
I didn't see any boys. I mean, there were a couple of trans boys.
Yeah, but I mean, there was like doing the food, you know, doing the gantries for the music, doing the soundstage stuff. So, I mean, yeah.
Yeah, no, it was all chicks. It was rad.
And we didn't say where you rode to.
Oh yeah, it's a bit north of here. It's
Northern.
Yeah. It's the closest town is Shelton, Washington. So it's on the Olympic Peninsula across from Seattle.
Yeah.
And to get there, I went through Nevada.
What?
So you went up 395?
I did. Yeah, I went.
Nevada's not.
I bo-
Oh, yeah, you did. You did go
I
through.
boogied over to Reno and then took 395 all the way up into.
That actually might be one of the more direct routes there.
No,
because it's kind of,
Yeah, it's way
it's
longer. than
400
LV5.
miles longer than the most direct route.
Yeah.
which
You
would
went
have been the most
around
direct
Bagel.
5.
You did a loop around Bagel.
What? Say what, Emma?
Which would have been the most direct route, just
5.
going up 5.
Yeah, I came back on the most direct route. Yeah, but yeah, it was so perfect too because it was. I took the scenic route, ended up being about 1,200 miles. Took about 22 hours, and yeah, but it was so nice to get there and have such a welcoming experience, and then just like hang out and jump in the lake and
How
fool
many
around.
women were there?
I think like 400-ish.
Okay.
It was
It's a big scene up there.
it was
Yeah.
rad, yeah, and there were women there from all over the North America.
And you just camping though, right?
Mhm. There were a couple. There's some like cabins that are rented
Oh, okay.
for folks.
Then next year, remind me. Maybe I'll go with you.
Yeah. There were some
I
cabin
don't like-
situations.
I don't have a problem with camping other than the whole sleeping, peeing, eating arrangement.
Well, there were proper bathrooms and
Good.
a nice shower and but like
No, is it like those showers that they truck in? It's like a semi-trailer.
no, it's like a shower block.
Oh, it's a proper. So it's the place where it's held is a proper camping area.
Yeah, it's a 4-H like summer camp.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
So stuff like you had at the Hollister rally. So showers, functional bathrooms.
Yeah,
the whole
like that.
business.
A little bit nice.
And since the bike is still kind of new to you, how was the
yeah.
ride report? Was that the right bike for this trip?
No. The KTM 690 or Husqvarna 701 Enduro is not a well-known long-distance touring bike.
No.
There's good reasons for that lack of reputation. It had one huge benefit that I found, which was that there's so much seat to move around on.
Yeah.
That even when my butt was real sore, I could like find a new spot because just moving fore and aft in a way
That's
isn't.
like 4 feet of seat.
Yeah, it's like 4 feet of seat. It might feel a bit like a 2x4, but there's so much of it.
It still looks like a recipe for monkey butt, though.
Yeah, but I didn't feel like I was
more
like
monkey twat. Yeah.
yeah, I didn't feel like locked in like I did on a Goldwing or something where there's nowhere you can't really move around or find somewhere different to sit. But
Well-
yeah, it's a good ride, and I got good mileage and had a lovely time.
Yay.
I made some adjustments to the bike too.
Oh,
They're hard to see in the pictures, but
the side bags?
no, I just put the soft sort of dirt bike touring luggage on there.
Yeah.
If you zoom in at the front bottom part of the skid plate, I made highway pegs.
Oh, I've seen.
Oh, yeah, I
Those
can see them. Yeah,
add-ons
you
for-
did.
Yeah. So I
In
threw
front
those
of
together
in front of
and
the engine. Okay.
didn't test them out until after I left, and absolutely burned the bejesus out of my pants. And
Oh, no.
Because you are going in front of the header
like right next
away
to
from
it.
the heat shield.
Yeah.
You know,
Wah, wah.
I found when I got really fried after all day in the Cedar Rufus, the only time I actually deviated from the position, I went the other way. So instead of feet forward, I did feet back.
Mhm.
And I put my shins on the rear foot pegs and just was like Supermaning it
Yeah.
with the tank bag on my belly. And it was very comfortable. I was kind of wiggling my toes in the breeze.
Nice.
Kind of doing a Raleigh free there.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, that's exactly what it looked like, but it was remarkably comfortable. Fucking McCarthy was peeing his pants laughing, following me. But, you know, you find to do these things. But there is value in being able to move around on a bike, even if it's got a meager seat.
Or even if you're just moving to the passenger seat.
Right. My biggest argument with BMWs has always been they force you into a very, very restrictive riding position, and it's a very good riding position, and it's a very well researched, but you can't really deviate from that.
I did find one other thing that I think is not specific to that bike, but common to all ADV bikes, which
Yeah.
and some of them are really great touring bikes, mine maybe not, is that they're really comfy to stand up on.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
properly standing up and still holding onto the handlebars is difficult on a sport bike.
Oh,
Yeah.
on my my KTM SMT when I did my cross country thing, I like going through the desert in Nevada.
Yeah.
I was doing 100 miles an hour standing up
Exactly.
because it's just comfortable.
It's tough. It's difficult to do that on a sport bike.
Yeah.
It's nearly impossible to do on a cruiser.
Well, and the problem is if you do it on a sport bike, everything goes well,
For a minute,
and you stand up on the pegs, and it's like, oh, this is great. And then your mind starts working, and you think, what's the front wheel look like? And then you
Uh-huh.
lean forward because you can't resist it. You want to see that front wheel turning, and you want to see that little nubbin of tire in front of the front fender because, you know, you just want to see it. And you lean forward and you lean forward. And then suddenly, just all of a sudden, the center of gravity on the bike gets really strange. And you're like, oh, fuck, I'm going to fall off this thing like right now. And you have to kind of wobble yourself back to it. And it's really quite scary.
the piece about that that got me was a curve would inevitably appear.
Yeah. Well,
Yes, as it always does.
Yes.
I have a ride report that
Oh.
then segues into our next segment.
Yes.
So I went up to the city, San Francisco,
Yeah.
short ride last night to go to a little party, and I chose to take the 990 SMT. It's been a while since I rode it,
Mhm.
and you know I love that bike. I've thought, oh, this is my soulmate, and I just haven't been riding it as much. So pulled it out, cleaned it up, juiced it up, hit the road, and I fell in love with it again.
Oh.
It was like date night. where
It's
you fall
it's
in
a
love with your
very,
spouse, you know?
very good bike indeed.
Just hauled ass up to the city, splitting lanes and traffic, the whole thing. It's just so smooth, and to have that power of a leader bike when you're changing lanes to really get in
Right.
front of people. I loved it. So went up to the party, and then it's about like an hour and a half ride home. I realized at 9:30, I'm like, oh, I need to get home. It's getting late. So I said goodbye and I headed off, stopped to gas up and added some extra layers because, you know, it gets cool, but I was very comfortable. I had my music going, just having a good ride, and just again, hauled ass.
Coming down 280.
Yeah, I didn't take 280, just 101 because it was nighttime.
Uh-huh.
And then I got to Highway 17. And Highway 17, for those who don't know, is the highway that separates Santa Cruz from the rest of the world.
It really does separate Santa Cruz from most of the rest of the world, doesn't it?
We call it going over the hill. and it is a mountain highway that goes up and over. The highest peak is only, 1,800 feet? It's not very high,
Patch and
Patch and pass, yeah. It's
Yeah,
like 1,800 feet, yeah.
I mean, I live at 5 feet, so just to give you an idea. But it is a fast-moving road that is prone to accidents.
It's very twisty.
It is very twisty.
It's very bumpy.
And the camber of the road is odd in places, to say the least. It's reverse cambered in a lot of places where it shouldn't be. And you found that out while you were waiting.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think you're right. It's that like every third corner is some wacky new version of camber.
So coming over the highway, and I start to run into brake lights. So I start just lane splitting, going up the center, not too fast. And I'm like, this is a big jam. What's going on? And I made that mistake of continuing to lane split and not get off on the next exit, because there's very few exits on this mountain highway, and managed to get myself up to where it was just a log pile jam behind a fatal car wreck.
Ooh.
Now, it's late at night, and a fatal car wreck. It was actually it was a 78-year-old man, I think, in a Subaru, going northbound, somehow ended up in the southbound lane. There is a partition wall that you need to get up and over.
Or go through like a turn lane somewhere.
Well,
partition wall hasn't always
this
been
is
there,
just
but it's
south
there
of
now. Yeah.
Glenwood. I think it's all partition wall.
Okay.
And then two cars hit him, killed him, and so they have to do a whole investigation, and the whole roadway's blocked. And it's not uncommon there's actually a lot of deaths. I found people refer to Highway 17 as Blood Alley.
Yes.
And it is common for it to be about 3 hours to complete the investigation and to remove the bodies and everything. And so it was a parking lot. Like, pull on up and just stop. The problem is I was on a cambered turn, so I couldn't put my kickstand down.
Was it cambered to the left or the right?
It was a right-hand turn, so my kickstand was on the uphill.
Oh, so no putting kickstart down for you.
So couldn't put my kickstand down. And I was right behind a fire truck, so I had flashing red lights in my face for an hour and a half.
Oh, my God.
Of sitting there. By this point, most people have just turned their cars off, and it is just a parking lot. And for an hour and a half, I'm sitting there. I'm tired. I just want to go to sleep.
Well, you've been partying all night.
I can't put my feet up and rest. And then I realized, fucking idiot, I'm on a motorcycle.
Turn around.
I turned around and I lane splitted backwards.
Yes.
Back to that exit, of which there were like police officers and like people directing traffic who were like, what? They didn't know what to do.
Well, yeah. I mean, you're doing unpredictable shit.
And I was 15 minutes from home at that point. So yeah, I was able to get home. But it made me think about Highway 17, because Highway 17, we've all ridden it many times. Some of us know
today.
it like the back of our hand, and we all have stories about Highway 17. I want to talk a little bit about Highway 17. So Highway 17, I don't know if you guys know, but it was built in 1940. Before that, the access to the Santa Cruz and the boardwalk was by train. There was tunnels, and people would take the train here.
And some of those tunnels are still there.
Yeah, they're bloated up, but yes. But it got to the point where it was no longer cost effective, and so they built this highway in 1940 over the mountain, and people would travel over the highway. And to this day, there's still, everyone knows up at the summit, there's like parking lots, and there's some buildings up there that look like gift shop, hot dog stand. Have any of you ever been to?
I've been
North
to
Korean pizza hot dog place.
It's like nobody stops, because this was at a time when cars were much slower, and it would take a long time to get over the mountain.
You
So
could
had
have
to
your
yeah.
breakfast in San Jose, lunch at the summit, and then dinner in
Yeah,
Santa
you had
Cruz.
to have
Yeah.
a rest stop,
Oh, my
especially
God.
single lane. There would be
Mhm.
backup traffic, like we get the beach traffic. So they built the highway, and then in 1952 they built the reservoir on the other side, Lexington Reservoir. That there are parts of the old Highway 17 that are under the water. And sometimes when the water gets low, you can see it. So we all know that when we get our rainstorms in the winter, it's going to be a shit
trees
show.
blowing down.
It's going to be a shit show. Trees coming down, landslides, mudslides, cars flipping. I would say cars flipping is a daily, maybe hourly thing during storms.
Well, it
Or at least spin outs.
You're nearly daily, but yeah, at least a spin out, a crash, some kind of daily crash each direction.
There's a reason why I bring up the camber of the road, because it's very, very easy to say that, yes, 90% of people can't drive in the wet. And that is true, but also this weird camber that they have on some of the corners. It's all the deck is stacked against an inexperienced driver on 17.
There are a couple of really lumpy corners too.
Yeah, and it would, in the wet, slick conditions, it is so easy to lose.
And then every now and then crossovers for people to get to their streets. So it's pretty sketchy.
Yeah.
But
you can turn left across this highway also in a few places.
Also, as a motorcyclist, it is a fun, fast road, which can be white knuckling. I remember the first time I took Jim over 17 when he was a new rider, and he had never been over 17. And he got that FZ6. And I was like, all right, let's go over the hill. It's time to go. And we were on comms, and I remember him saying like, oh my gosh, and he was going slow. Now, the speed limit is 50. Most people are doing, average speed is like 60, right? Maybe 70 in the passing lane.
Well,
depending.
But just to give an idea of speed.
Yeah.
And he was just going slow, and he was I could tell he was tense and white knuckling. And meanwhile, I put on the Bee Gees and started disco dancing with my hand swinging in the air while going through turns one-handed to show him
how fun it can be.
You can do it.
Yeah.
I'm doing it one-handed while dancing. And just to tell, I'm like, dude, loosen up. Your bike can do it. You trust the bike. Look through the turn.
Just keep your head up. Look through the corner. No, don't fixate it on your front tire. All that good stuff.
Don't lean over the front and look at your front tire.
Yeah.
But I also remember the first time I went over 17 on a motorcycle, and it happened to be a vampires rally. It was right before I moved. It was before I moved here, but my parents were here, and I had bought a GB 500 on eBay and had it delivered here, so I had a bike here to ride. And I came out, and one of somebody my parents knew was part of the group, and they said, hey, there's a rally. Why don't you come out and ride? I'm like, okay. Now, I was living in Georgia. I had never split lanes, and I'd never ridden a motorcycle on Highway 17. And so they introduced you to everyone. They're like, all right, you follow Barrett. He's your guy. So I'm following Barrett on a Triumph and Moik on a Ninja and a couple guys on sport bikes, and I'm on a GB 500.
So, side note about Moik, I'm what the cat dragged in. Look me up later.
Yeah.
Nice.
Moik the squid. And so everyone takes off, and this is back when I said vampires are a lot calmer now, but back then it was a spirited ride. And I am, holy shit, just like trying to keep up. Like, I don't want to be like the girl being left behind. But you also know a GB 500 doesn't really keep up with all those.
Yeah, I mean, it's like fun with 30 horsepower.
Yeah. And we get on a Highway 17, and they are splitting. Now, Highway 17 is 2 lanes in each direction.
It hasn't always been 2 lanes the whole way, though, right?
I remember. It's been, for a long time. But,
okay.
And they are splitting lanes, even though the traffic is doing 50, 60. They're doing 70, splitting lanes in turns between cars. And when you lean into a turn, you're now occupying more
lateral space.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I'm like, ah! And again, I just didn't want to be left behind. And I was white knuckling it. The saving grace is that GB500 is so lightweight and flickable that is
And-
very easy to control.
And the bars are fairly narrow on it, too.
Yes. So at least I had that. I didn't have the power, but I could maneuver it very simply in turns. And
You know
stuff
what
like
we
that.
call that, Liza? A trial by fire.
Yeah. So that was
Mhm.
like white knuckling. And then later in the ride, they ended up at Big Basin Park, which I'd never been to.
Oh.
And then most people were staying for the night, but I was coming back to Santa Cruz. And I remember saying like, hey, I don't know where I am. I didn't have a map, and this is before cell phones. So nothing, right? And I was like, hey, can anyone show me how to get out? And someone said, yeah, well, I'm heading back. Just follow me. So I'm following Moik on his Monster, I think 1000, who just left me behind. I could not keep up and just left me in the mountains to try and figure out where the fuck I was and how to get home. I was just like, what the fuck, dude?
Was that where the
And
water
he was like,
method
oh,
was
I
born?
forgot you were back there.
Was that when the water method was born?
Yeah, the water method, just go downhill. But my point being, like, when I was riding with Jim, who was white knuckling it, I remembered that first
Right.
time for me. And it can be sketchy. And I'm just curious if anyone else has any Highway 17 stories they want to share.
Well, I've got a couple. So
All right?
right after I got my motorcycle license and it was legal for me to ride on the freeway on my clapped out 72 Bonneville, like literally the first decent distance ride I took was south from the East Bay where I was living at the time over Highway 17 to Highway 1 and made that loop back up to 92. So I have very fond memories of that being kind of my freedom ride and not being restricted to side roads anymore. The second thing I can think of, 17 stories, one of the scarier things is I was riding along and I saw this Ford Explorer with a mattress strapped to the top of it.
Oh,
And I had my cell phone and I managed to take a picture of it. I have it stashed somewhere. But this mattress was kind of lifting up in the front. It had like a thin nylon cord holding it on. And it's like, oh, no, I got to get around this thing. I can't stay behind this.
But you stopped.
I don't want to have a final destination moment.
right.
But you paused long enough to take a photo of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Somebody, we were talking about this out in the garage today, and somebody said that somebody was hauling plywood that got picked up and went up in the air like leaves, just floating in the air like leaves.
It's
And they're just
no.
like, oh!
Jeez.
Can you imagine?
Imagine following that on a bike.
Yeah.
Be like, oh God, where's it going to come down?
Oh my
Yeah.
God.
You know.
Got another one?
So just the other day, I was in springtime. They tend to ramp up speed enforcement on Highway 17. So I'm seeing cops all around. So I'm coming up the face toward the summit, coming up from the south, and I see them at that little pullout past where the radar sign is. So I kind of jokingly I tap the top of my head like that, and the cop looks at me, starts laughing, and taps back. I was like, yeah, I see you.
Yeah.
I see you seeing me.
Yeah.
I have some other stories to share. Oh, I'll tell one, then you can go, Bagel.
Okay.
Do you remember, Emma, when poor John Dalton's BMW caught on fire
Yes.
while
yeah.
he's riding over 17?
Oh, yes.
And there was nowhere to pull off. There was
my God.
no, he had to wait until he came to an opening that he could pull off with a fire. And then you watched the bike just burn
Oh,
to
it
the
just
ground.
burned to the ground.
Yeah.
Wild.
Yeah. Can you imagine?
Bike BQ.
Yeah. I mean,
It's a good job he didn't set his genitalia on fire.
True.
What you got, Bagel?
So, well, the first I wanted to mention the lane splitting on Highway 17. I've done that on scooters too on a number of rides. That is kind of hairy at times. But I also remembered what you were talking about, first rides on 17. I remember my first ride was on my Vespa P200 going over 17 in the dark when the fog had rolled in.
ooh.
And I was going up to a party at a vampire's house somewhere. And this is like over 20 years ago. And so friend of friends, heard about it and was going to go check it out. And I'm riding my Vespa like up into this like thick fog. and it was somewhere up off a summit, I think. And somehow I managed to find it and made it all the way there, and had, joined the party, had a good time, and then had to ride home back. I was living in San Jose at the time. So I had to go back down. And I think somebody told me about Old Santa Cruz Highway, and so I took Old Santa Cruz Highway instead of 17 on the way back, and it was just as foggy, but and a little more treacherous because it's even darker and twistier,
and there's like no traffic.
Yeah, but there's no traffic, which is the part that I was happier about, because I was worried that somebody was going to hit me from behind because I was going so slow because of the fog. So, because the headlight on my bike at the time was not very good, so I was in a bad spot, let's say. But I did make it home safe through Old Santa Cruz Highway on the way back.
One time, and this isn't a motorcycle; it's a car, but bear with me. I had gone over the hill because I had bought a Fiat Spider 2000 convertible. It had come from like a church auction kind of thing, right? Yep. And went over and picked it up, and I was so stoked. And I'm driving it home, and I remember it was like evening time, and I got to Los Gatos, and I got some gas, and I take off, and it's it's getting dark kind of fast, and I'm on 17, the beginning of 17, and that's when I realized that I had no lights.
Yeah,
no lights.
Whoops.
0. And I'm like, I think I can make it. And I'm hauling. By the time I get to the summit, it's now dark.
Oh.
And I've got no headlights or taillights.
No brake lights?
I think I have brake lights, but...
Did you have flashers?
No. So what I did was I just got up behind another car and just tailgated them home.
Yeah. Well.
I went over 17 in the dark.
Wow.
Yeah. But another short story I want to share. This goes way back. I don't think any of you knew Mason, but Mason used to be on our podcast years ago.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Bagel, remember Mason? Well, Mason had sat in on a show we did where my friend Stan gave a crash report. And he had hit a deer on his bike, and he was wearing one of the one-piece suits,
Mm-hmm.
that had failed him because it had like vents in the arms that twisted, and his elbow came out on one side, and he got road rash, and the knees twisted around. And so he had sustained a bunch of injuries because his gear failed him, because you can't cinch down the armor on those suits. And he said, you know what, from now on, I'm going to wear like dirt biking gear underneath my jacket, because that is not going to slide around. And Mason listened to that, and he goes, I have dirt biking gear. And at the time, Mason's gear as a new rider, he was riding, I think, a Shadow 500, was a leather jacket that he'd gotten probably at a thrift store or something, right? And so the next day, he's going over 17, and he's got his motocross armor on underneath the leather jacket, and a van does a left turn in front of him.
Oof.
Didn't see him, and he nails it and flies over the van. He did that thing where you kind of jump when you're hitting. He went over the van, did a somersault, landed on his back, and then slid to a stop. And he just laid there in shock. And then the paramedics, everyone showed up, and they checked him out, and he had no injuries. And they said,
wow,
it was because he had that armor and that giant armor plate of the dirt biking gear on the back.
That's awesome.
Smart guy.
Saved his ass, literally.
Very lucky.
Wow. I would love to share a story. It doesn't involve motorcycles, I'm afraid.
Okay.
But it's quite a good Highway 17 story, and unfortunately it does involve a fatality. But this is 25 years ago. And I'm kind of unique because my introduction to Highway 17 was in a manual transmission bus. And back then I was driving Greyhound. And I picked up this run. I used to work out of San Francisco, and I picked up this run, which was called the Salinas Loop. And you drive to Salinas, basically down 101, make all the milk stops. But on the way back, you'd stop at Santa Cruz and just fill up with the bus with students, and then take them to San Jose. And all of them would get off in San Jose, but some would stay on to San Francisco. So it was evening time. I and by this time I'd been driving Greyhounds for a couple of years, so I was used to Highway 17. But it was the middle of winter, and I had an absolute bus full. I had 55 people on it. And I'm kind of staggering up the Highway 17 because it's very, very steep. And I get to the summit and there is just no visibility whatsoever. And rain's coming down, it's foggy, it's windy. I mean, it's real biblical kind of storm. And I just start down the other side. And about a mile past the summit, the road just turns around to the left, and there was a little turnout, and I see a highway patrol guy come flying out from the side of the road, and I'm like, shit, this is trouble. So I'm already going a little bit slower because, I mean, you're driving a 55-seat bus, so you can get some momentum going up down the hills, and they're two-strokes, so they got no engine braking whatsoever, so you really have to kind of shift them down. So I'm down in third, and I'm just, and lo and behold, I came round a couple of corners, and what had happened, there were 3 girls in an Acura Integra who'd spun out, and this old hippie woman who'd been following in a Mazda pickup truck had T-boned them. And she'd died, not from the impact of the crash, but her camper shell had come detached and just come forward. And so she died on the spot. And so the scene I came across, I came round the corner, and the highway patrol guy, and I vividly remember him, he was such a young guy, and he looked deer in the headlights. And so I came round, and I kind of turned the bus so I blocked both lanes so nobody could move. So there was my bus blocking both lanes, then the highway patrol car, and then this just fucking carnage all over the road. And I looked, and the interior light had come on in the Acura, and I just saw smoke, and I'm like, oh, crap. So I grabbed the fire extinguisher and come steaming out of the bus. And it was the airbag. Because, when airbags go off, it's the chalk.
Yeah,
it's all the chalk on the airbag, and I think it's like talcum powder they use to lubricate it when it comes out, and it was all that. But the girls they needed to get out of there because they were all trapped, because like the driver's side was just completely stoved in. So we had to get the car was basically bent like a banana. And they were all fine. The only injury they'd got was the one girl was wearing glasses, and her glasses had shattered and cut her face. But that was literally the only injury. So me and the highway patrol guy, I'd got a pry bar in the bus, and he'd got a pry bar in the cruiser. So we pried open the passenger door and got them out, and we had them sat up on the curb, and we were kind of doing like field tests and like, are you okay? And eventually, the tow truck came from, the north, because I was heading back to San Jose, coming the wrong way, turned around, got the wreckage off the side of the road, and I just carried on my merry way, and I didn't think about it. And about 6 months later, my supervisor called me in and said, hey, Em, I've got something for you here. And she gave me this plaque. And it's a beautiful thing. I've still got it hanging up in my office. And it's a commendation from the California Highway Patrol for assisting an officer. But it wasn't a nice experience. And what it really brought home to me is how lives can change very, very quickly. You've got some poor hippie woman driving a pickup truck with a dog, and, one moment they're cruising along, and then the next minute that's finished. And then I'm sure those 3 girls in the Acura, their lives changed. But it happens. That's Highway 17. And it really was. I think the point I want to make is I left Santa Cruz and it was misty and cold, but it wasn't unpleasant. But man, when you're up there at the summit, the rain was going sideways.
We get snow.
And there was no visibility, like none.
We get
a couple years ago, I got turned around. I was like most of the way up towards the summit, and I got turned around because it was closed for snow.
Yeah.
So I came back down and tried to go over Mountain Charlie, which was much, much more closed for snow.
And again, on that route, the Greyhound route, if you get, if you can't take 17, the prescribed Greyhound route it'd be crazy to think about it because it's so out of the way. You have to continue down 101 to 129, and you take 129 into Watsonville, then head north.
Well, yeah, I mean,
because that's the only way.
I've had to do that when there's storms and trees down
I've done that too.
And it's just crazy out of the way. I mean, it's literally a couple of hours out of the way, but that's all you can do. It's how isolated it is. Santa Cruz is without that highway.
So I've had 2 sketchy rides over 17, like sketchy. One of them, I was coming home with a group. We'd been up to a motorcycle show, coming over 17, and it started hailing.
Oh, God.
just for like a bit at the top, and then it goes away again? Yeah.
Well, we weren't even at the top, but the hail, like we're like, huh? Like what? Hail? But, keep on riding because you can't stop. There's no median.
There's no median, no shoulder.
And cars are still bombing through. So we're trying to go slow, and we realize it's more dangerous to go. We just have to go. But the problem is when we speed up, when you have hail, it's creating all this cold air, and our face masks would fog up immediately. So you have to ride with your face mask open.
And then
which means you're getting pelted with the hail.
Yeah.
So you're squinting, trying not to breathe, while trying to speed up in a hailstorm. I mean, it was sketch, but we managed to get through it. But the sketchiest, Emma, you never saw the custom chopper that I owned.
I saw a photograph of it.
You've seen photos of it. And it had a 6-over offset Springer front end, which means, if you don't know, when, with a rake on it, when you turn, it means that the bike kind of goes the other way. The bike swings out. It's kind of weird. So the first time going over 17 is quite a weird sensation, but you kind of get used to it. And, I had little drag bars. But I had gone over and I was coming back. Nice day, I'm just having a good ride. But suddenly, as you're in the middle, in the middle of a turn, my engine cuts out.
Ooh.
And now you start, when you're going uphill and you reduce speed, suddenly you turn sharper, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, ah! And I'm now turning in, and then it catches, bam, and it's taking off. I'm like, ah, which is causing me to just like swerve crazily, and it's like cutting off. Yeah, coming back. Cutting off.
Oh, we did that multiple times.
And each time I am swerving.
It's worth it just for the sound effects. It's like you're there.
I'm like, holy fuck, what is happening? And I realized my ignition module, which was underneath my seat, it had like a screw, like a giant nut that holds it together, and it had come in loose. So the whole ignition module is coming loose. So I had to keep one hand on the key, pushing it in to keep the contact points while riding over 17 on a chopper with one hand.
That sounds terrifying.
Modular.
It was terrifying, but not as terrifying as my friend Charles, who, when his wife had gotten pregnant, and he was so excited because they were both riders, and he wanted to be able to, when they had their son, to be able to include him. So he had a vintage BMW with a sidecar, all restored and made up beautifully. And so they one time made the trek over with the baby. She's holding the baby in the sidecar, and they came over to visit us on Garage Day, and then they were heading back. And he had a similar problem with the ignition coming loose, and the same thing happening to him. It was cutting off and then coming back.
With a sidecar with your whole
What
family?
happens on a
Oh my
sidecar
God.
when you suddenly decrease and increase speed?
Oh, it turns violently.
Violently, and he has his wife and baby in it. There's a tailless squirrel outside the window.
Squirrel.
And I remember him saying, "Oh my God, I thought I was going to kill my entire family."
Holy shit.
And talk about sketchy. So I think a lot of us have these stories of narrowly avoiding death on Highway 17.
I think the gnarliest thing that I've commuted over 17 at least a few times a week, sometimes every day.
Oh, Neal, you out?
You gotta go, Neal?
All right, see you, Neal.
All right.
Later, get up.
But like the gnarliest thing is when a tree falls.
Wow.
And just there's like a surprise tree across the road.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you know, that happened to me once.
That happened to me a couple of times.
It happened to me just on the south side of the summit.
Yeah,
I was
same.
in a car. Maybe we were in the same one. And a giant tree had fallen across all 4 lanes. I was about the 4th car. Come to a stop. And it's a rainstorm and there's a tree. And we had been having storms and tree downs and landslides and flooding.
Yeah, that was the winter of 17, wasn't it?
Yeah. For like weeks. And everyone.
Yeah.
So were we both in the same thing?
No, I wasn't riding then. But yeah, I remember that winter of 17.
And everyone was so fucking over being trapped on Highway 17 that we all got out. And even though this was a big, I don't think it might not have been a redwood, but it was a big tree. I think at its base on the southbound side, it was maybe like 6 feet across,
Okay, so big enough.
Big enough tree.
For those of you listening, that's 6 feet in diameter.
Yeah, diameter.
It's a big tree.
And I remember everyone just got out of their cars and we're all just looking around and somebody showed up with some little like pruning shears and started cutting branches off of it. And so someone else like produces a broom and another person a handsaw and people are just pulling tools out and we start trimming that tree down. And it had hit that center divide and it cracked and it like the northbound side, it was broken into 2. And then somebody shows up with a chainsaw. And then somebody shows up with a bigger chainsaw. And before any emergency vehicles had gotten there, we had 1 entire lane free.
Wow.
We were pulling this tree apart with our hands and taking off sections where 6 of us had to carry it. And we go over to the side and throw it over the side.
Yeah.
And then the fire department shows up and like everyone just kept working with them and like they're sawing stuff and we're just hauling it away. And within short time, we had that thing removed. And then the final section was so big, they just wrapped a chain around it and dragged it with a fire truck up to the nearest turnout and left it there.
I had that same experience just a few years ago where like there was a big tree and it fell across a bunch of lanes and I, not realizing there was a tree, kind of just split my way up to the front, realized it was a tree and everybody was just there lumberjacking this thing until, no shit, somebody comes down the other direction with their bobcat, just going the wrong direction down 17 and they pulled it out of the way.
Mountain folk.
Yeah.
Gotta love them.
So mountain folk, yeah.
But that's Highway 17. And I know for people who come and visit us or ride Highway 1, many people end up doing 17 and many people are like, holy shit, I just took that road over here.
I mean, it's got a reputation outside of California. And I've done a couple of tourist trips on buses where people have been from other places in America and they've said, will you take us over Highway 17? I'm like, are you sure? I've got the sick bags ready, but yes, we want to see Highway 17.
Fact, I don't know if you know this, but Highway 17 was featured in a driving arcade game. I believe it was called Cruising USA.
Oh, I remember that game.
And there was, if you could choose the like Pacific Coast Highway.
Yeah.
And it would at one point have you on Highway 17, then drop you down into the boardwalk where you would then get onto the Big Dipper roller coaster and drive it.
Oh my God, I remember playing Cruising USA.
I remember when I lived back east and driving Highway 17 on that game. So yeah, it's long time been a sketchy, fun road. But if you come out, make sure you visit Highway 17.
I mean, if you're going to come here, this is kind of the only way to get here.
Well,
Exactly.
unless, of course, you're on Highway 1.
True. Yeah.
I wanted to, we got a little more time. I wanted to talk about some things I love. This is a segment we do sometimes when there's something that we just love. And I wanted to share my new gloves that I got from Icon.
May I see these gloves?
Yeah, and we interviewed them when we were up at the one show. The one show.
It's a very attractive glove. It's a shorty, kind of a tan, buff leather looking color.
So here's what I love about this glove. It is a lightweight leather, like it's a tan leather looking shorty glove that almost like a sport bike style, right?
Yeah. But they got the what have we called this? The stitch out situation for the fingers, the fourchettes.
Okay. One thing I like, one thing I don't like about gloves is when they're very stiff or they make you feel like your fingers are spread wide apart.
Mm-hmm.
I like something that feels very natural. And this glove, it's called the Long Track CX by Icon. And they describe it as if a work glove decided to start a new life as a motorcycle glove.
Yeah, totally. Right on.
It's like a deerskin work glove.
It feels like
right?
that. Yeah, but yeah. This is a nice glove.
Now, but here's the thing that's cool about it. It's not leather.
Really?
It is not leather.
You sure?
I'm sure. So they describe it as the suede look of this glove is actually synthetic Axe Materials Novo Buck. And it's doubled up on the palm for added durability. And then, of course, the knuckles get extra layer defense. And then also they throw in the D30 foam. And it's touchscreen enabled. So the thing, when we interviewed them at the one show, they told us about this material. They're making jackets out of with this and the gloves. You can see it's a very lightweight, almost a thin leather feel.
Yeah, it feels like a like
it's man-made
goat skin
and has the same durability as a thicker leather glove.
Huh.
And that's what I love about it.
Better living
it
through
feels
chemistry.
like a light glove. What do you think of it, Emma?
I like it. It's a very comfortable glove. I'm not sure about the color. It's a little...
Well, I like the color.
Well,
I'm sure they can make it in different colors, too.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Well, they trail the traditional black, but I hate black gloves. But I just love it because it's comfortable. The other thing I like about it is a lightweight, almost like a summer glove, it feels like. But my hands did not get cold, and it was pretty cold up in the city yesterday. Actually, I had to turn on my heated grips on the way home, not because my hands were cold, but because my arms were cold. So, yeah.
And I mean, the people at Icon, I mean, they're the real deal. They love motorbikes, and they put a lot of thought into design.
But I love that there's technology and material.
Yes.
And something that we look at and go, it just looks like a work glove, right? But Axe Materials Novo Buck.
Yeah, it's super. I mean, if it is indeed as durable as a thicker leather glove, that's a fabulous advancement because it's quite thin.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, very comfy.
So I am loving my new gloves. Thank you to Icon for sending me those. Somebody else want to share something they love?
Oh, I love so much, darling.
I know you love your gin.
No, and I mean, did I tell you how much I love gin? And
Not
the
today.
reason,
Not in the last hour.
The reason I like gin so much is because it's medicine. It's medicine when I'm feeling poorly, and I drink lots of gin, and I feel so much better about myself, and I start speaking in tongues that even I can't understand. But no, if you're going to drink hard liquor, gin is the way forward. And they actually did a survey, that they said gin drinkers are psychopaths because it's something to do with the bitterness of the gin. But I don't know what kind of gin they were drinking because the gin that I drink tastes like candy in a glass.
Do you have a favorite make and model of gin?
Oh, I'm Bombay Sapphire girl.
Okay.
Always have been. And, there are people that say, Bombay Sapphire, but they're babbling from the sickbed.
Was that created by Dr. Bombay on Bewitched?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah. But, they take it very, very seriously. And it's distilled from juniper berries, no less.
I was once in the Netherlands and got to visit the Jenevernacht, which was like their gin drinking festival.
Yes.
That was a shit show.
Oh, I can only imagine. No, the Dutch are amazingly fun people. And, when they go into something, there's no monkeying around. They jump in with both feet. And it's always good. But no, that's being a bit flippant about gin. I mean, I have renewed my love affair with carburetted superbikes. No, I think it's the mid-90s was absolutely the golden era of superbike design. And if you are lucky enough to ride a mid to late 90s well-sorted superbike, it is an incredible experience.
Would you say that they still are part beast? Like they're still part wild?
Oh, there's definitely a visceral aspect to it.
You know what I mean?
But there isn't. I mean, the thing is, and I've just finished. I just finished doing the carburetors on a Yamaha R1 at the shop, and it's a very early bike. It's a 98. I think it's the first year for the R1 after the Thundercleese.
Yeah, we could look it up. I don't
know. But nevertheless. And I took this thing out for riding. Of course, it's fast as fury.
Yeah.
But it's so civilized. And there is a beast aspect to them. And it's the same with Rufus. I mean, Rufus is a wild ride, let me tell you. But they're so civilized the way they go about it.
I was going to say it's like having a wolf dog, right?
Yeah.
No. The like Rufus is like a wolf dog, and there are people who have these pet wolf dogs, but you can never quite trust them. Because they could turn back to their wild side. Whereas the bikes now, as fast as they are quite domesticated. You can trust them.
Actually, I will buy into that because I think deep down, I don't 100% trust Rufus.
Well,
because, Rufus will promise you everything and absolutely everything. And you can be in a corner. And a couple of times McCarthy was following me and he's like, oh, shit. Because, I've got everything on the ground. And I'm still turning in. Rufus is going, oh, yeah, I like this. Yeah. But then a modern bike will just maybe give you that little bit of, okay, enough. Rufus is like, I'm done. Blah. And just spit you off.
I'm thinking of things like ABS or traction control.
Oh, none of
or
those.
Linear.
It's quite too civilized.
More standard fueling. And I'm curious, do you think there's one specific thing or one particular thing that really put an end to that era of superbikes?
All of the things.
Just all of the things. Fear.
I think back to a time, and I'm going to rely on my English friends who listen to this show, which was very, very controversial at the time. And this happened just before I left for America. So this would have been like mid-90s. No, it was earlier than that. It was early 90s. Because I'd just gotten back from Spain. So it's probably 92. And Honda had just brought out the Fireblade, the original 900 Fireblade. And it was a very, very controversial bike because lightness was everything. Power was everything. And razor-sharp handling was everything. It even had a tiny little 16-inch front wheel. And even back then, 17-inch wheels had already, been quite well established. But the original Fireblade had a 16-inch front wheel because it sharpened up the handling. And the senior editor of Motorcycle News took one out on test and it killed him. Very first day.
I was going to say, you go back to the sport bikes, the further back in time you go,
yes,
the more they tried to kill you.
Right, and the Fireblade killed him, and it was very, very controversial at the time. And of course, back then, there was this Shorahawk, the 175 mile an hour superbikes being sold to our use and blah, 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 and it's, the government were getting involved in this.
Mm-hmm.
And they were using that as fodder. This is an established motorcycle journalist who was killed on first day testing the Fireblade. And I think he was doing something stupid on it. But it was so long ago. I mean, it's 35 years ago. I can't remember. So if somebody can refresh my memory about what happened, but I remember it being very controversial. So there is that kind of element of you don't trust them 100%, but it's a very respectful relationship you have with this machine because you know that it can bite you.
Yeah, the last bike I had that I knew I couldn't completely trust was the Super Duke 990.
Right.
Whereas the SMT 990, I feel like I can trust it, but the Super Duke, it would kill me if I let it.
But it's interesting, the evolution, because if you go back to like the late 80s, the mid-late 80s, GPZ 1100.
I've had many of them.
Monstrous power. But
look how fast I turned and pointed at one. I knew it was there.
But genuinely terrifying to ride. There was absolutely no question that this bike wanted to kill you. No question whatsoever. There wasn't even the thinnest veneer of civility about it. It was just monstrous. Same with the GPZ Turbo. Same with, all the big Hondas, big Honda Hurricanes. Like, Jesus Christ, this thing's going to kill me.
So what you're saying is the thing you love is a bike that sort of kind of wants to kill you.
No, I mean, I don't think it wants to, but it's like
a sweet spot where they didn't totally want to kill you, but they mostly wanted to kill you.
Sort of, that's what I said.
There you go. There is the sweet spot. And the sweet spot is this mid-90s because you've got big brakes. Yes, they don't have ABS, but you've got big brakes front and rear so the things can actually stop. In the case of McCarthy's ZX12, it's got 6-piston calipers, so that thing will really stop. So you've got the brakes, you've got 17-inch wheels with proper size rubber, so they stick to the road. The era of big forks are already coming in. Rufus has got 43mm forks up the front, so it's got big forks with cartridges, so it actually is kind of okay handling. I mean, the argument against Rufus is he's a bit porky, like they all were. Mm-hmm. You could probably, if you got £50 out of him or £100 out of him, you'd really have something.
Emma.
But, yes.
You've always been an advocate for very, very good tires.
Yes, always.
So I presume you have very, very good tires on Rufus.
I do indeed.
Do you think that changes the way it handles from the way it used to, or the way it originally did?
Yeah, I mean, inevitably, tires are going to change the dynamic of a bike. And you have to be very careful what you wish for. If you were to just take, say, a vintage bike, let's talk about that GPZ 1100, the mid-80s.
Yep.
Oh, I'm just going to put a pair of radials on it, and it'll be fine. So you put your radials on it, and miraculously, well, it's got a 17-inch rear, so you might be able to kind of squeak a 150 or a 160 17 on there, and the profile wouldn't be too bad. And you might be able to find an 18-inch radial for the front. But now you've introduced more problems because you've got very, very sticky radials, and you've got a chassis that isn't able to cope with that level of grip. So the chassis, the flex in the chassis and the forks, if you look at the forks of these bikes, the one thing you'll be struck with if you see a mid-80s superbike is how tiny the forks are. Mm-hmm. If you look at, say, a GSX 1100, it's got 37mm forks on it. They're tiny. They look like your pinky finger. And so there's a lot of flex. And there's a lot of things we did back in the day to try and beef them up. fork braces, fork bridges were very, very big back in the day. And they worked to a certain extent. But the trouble is, unless you set them up just right, you got a lot of stiction in your forks, so they didn't damp right. And then swing arms were always a problem. And the number one company was an English company called Metmachex that did these amazing big braced aluminum swing arms. Of course, they look like $1 million. They look like super burly. And again, it helped, but it didn't really. You were kind of putting a Band-Aid over the wound rather than stitching it up.
So putting newer modern rubber tires on these older bikes makes them flex weird?
It can. It can make them feel weird. I wouldn't want to put super modern rubber on anything older than Rufus without modifying the chassis first. And even so, I had to monkey around with the geometry a bit on Rufus because when he was new, he had a 160 rear tire, and you can still get them, but they're going by the way of the Dodo now. So now he's got a big 180 on it, which is far more of stock size. But yeah, I mean, I think the thing to remember, motorcycles are a developed product, and there are good years and there are bad years when things got stagnant a bit or they kind of lost direction. But if you look at the way over the last 150 years, inevitably motorcycles made now are a lot safer and more pleasant to ride than motorcycles made back then. But we're all very different. Our tastes are very different. And what we grow up riding makes us very, very different riders. I grew up riding in the 70s. So
the 1870s, the
yes,
wooden wheels.
Yeah,
right?
with the wooden wheels, you've picked the fastest horse. So, I grew up with the GS1000s and the XS11s and the Z900s. And they were very, very easy to make go fast because they were in such a low state of tune when they left the factory. You could make them go fast. It was harder making them go around corners. And particularly the Z900s, they were the absolute devil. Kawasaki never got the handling right on the Z series until they brought out the Mark IIs. And even the Mark IIs are scary as fuck.
Wasn't that why a lot of them became drag bikes? Popular
Right,
drag
because
bikes?
they were great in a straight line, but shitty going around corners. I mean, the best of the bunch were probably the GSs. But GS is still an evil handling beast when you really push them. And again, it's the Suzuki trademark. I'm going to promise you everything. I'll promise you everything. So you lean over. Oh, this is great. Lean over a bit more. Oh, this is great. Lean over a bit more. Oh, this feels so good. Lean over a bit more. And you're in the side of the road, sitting in the grass, having a little cry to yourself because it's that quick. And, and now we look back and we realize, yes, swing arm pivot points were too small. Swing arms themselves flexed. This flexed in the frame. This flexed in the frame. And, this is why it's a developed product now. We figure out what doesn't work and then make modifications to make it work. You follow Suzuki products, the GTs handled a certain way. The GSs improved on that. The GSXs improved on that. The GSXRs really improved on that. And then once the GSXRs came in, then the GSXR line in itself was...
RR.
Yeah, exactly. That was developed as a standalone product.
So
and that really represented the best of what Suzuki knew about handling.
The more pirate they became,
Arr.
the better they were. Arr.
Yeah, that's right.
Bagel, I want to hear from you. What's something that you love?
Well, I'm trying to think of something good. And
do you like scooters, Bagel? Do you like scooters?
I do, but I'm thinking
your heels together while you're riding.
I don't know about that, but I think one of the things that I really, really enjoy is a a great running bike.
Mm.
And
wait. What's your number right now?
Oh, well, there's 3, I think, that are running right now.
3 out of what? 11?
Out of
18?
20 something.
Okay.
So yeah, there's a lot of projects. But like there are just the feeling of when I have a bike that's running really well and just being able to ride it all day and it just doesn't skip a beat and
it's lovely, isn't it?
Just on. It's a wonderful feeling, and especially a bike that you've worked on and you've maintained or rebuilt. To have that feeling of that bike running perfectly underneath you is just it's a real sense of satisfaction.
Yeah, it's a joy, isn't it?
Oh yeah, yep. And looking forward to getting more of that in the near future.
That's awesome.
Nice, Scottie. What do you got?
Oh, at the Dreamroll, one of the funny things that happens is when it's an all women's motorcycle rally, there's like stuff there that really only makes sense for mostly women.
Oh, I'm curious where this is going.
Specifically, riders with long hair.
Oh,
I mean,
I thought you were going to tell everyone the secret how whenever all women get together, everyone takes their shirts off and rides topless.
Oh, that's not a secret.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, that did happen quite a lot. Yeah, topless potato sack racing was one of the funniest things. But you're just like hopping and but yeah, I picked up a new doodad thing while I was there. It's called hightail.
Okay, hold on. Let's each guess what the hell a hightail is.
Oh, I'm not going to go there.
Oh, please.
Oh, I think I know what a hightail is. Is it the sock for your hair ponytail?
Yes.
Oh, I knew it.
It's almost like a little.
It's a bag. It's a bag.
Like a bikini bottom thing around the back of your helmet.
You know how you put a poop bag on a horse?
Yeah.
It's like that for your ponytail.
Oh, it's a poop bag.
Yeah.
Yeah, but for your hair.
Yeah.
But to keep it from getting blown around in the wind.
Because when it gets blown around the wind, it gets really thrashed and tied up and knotted up. And I'm super into it right now. I've been riding with it for a week, and I'm absolutely in love with it.
Poop bag for your hair.
Yeah.
Nice.
Well, I wanted to share another one, and this is a bit of a broken record, but it's been a while, so it's two.
No, you're not talking about that car.
No.
Good.
Taking the KTM out yesterday, which has been a while, and having to go through traffic and splitting lanes on the freeways, and that comfort of realizing that everybody was getting out of my way because I have the headlight modulator on that bike.
Mm-hmm.
And to see all the cars just parting ahead of me, making room for me. And it's just, I love the headlight modulator so much for so many reasons. I still don't understand why more people aren't using them. They save lives. They get people out of the way. It's a simple thing to install. I love it. Headlight modulators.
I will say it's good in certain situations, but there are other times where it can be pretty annoying.
Then you turn it off. I can turn it off with my high-low switch.
Yeah.
It's that simple.
Right. And that's good that you can do that.
But I mean, anything that makes you more visible, whether it is a headlight modulator or...
Except none of you have it, do you?
No.
I have something very similar that I've fallen in love with.
What is it?
Oh,
now's the time to tell us.
Yeah, I guess now's the time. It's forward-facing, bright hazard light kind of things. So like hazard lights,
but
they face forward and they're like a light.
Blinky.
Blinky.
What bicyclists put on?
No, it's more like.
Is it a constant blinky?
No, it blinks. My fog lights. My fog lights blink.
Oh yes,
left, right.
I know. Like some GS riders
like
put it on.
Yeah,
like Clearwater lights.
Yeah.
Huh.
But I think of those as my lane splitting lights, my commuting lights, and they're fabulous.
And it's the same when I'm lane splitting. The worst bike I own to lane split on, of course, is the Harley. Number one, because it's so damn big, but it's got a tiny little headlight and I haven't done anything to it. But Rufus, I've got that sodium plasma discharge headlight bulb in it, like the 200-watt.
It's yellow.
It is yellow and purple, depending on
I remember because when I was leading a ride and you were riding tail, I could see in my rearview mirror that colored light note.
Right, and it's very, and particularly when you put it on high beam, it's super. And the commonality between Scottie and Liza and myself is you're all making yourself more visible in traffic, and how can that be a bad thing?
Bagel, what's your excuse?
Well, no, he's got that beard. How can you miss that beard?
Ginger.
He's already ginger. Like a beacon.
Glows. Yeah.
It's like a beacon.
It's like an amber beacon, yes.
Yeah.
It is.
And when embarrassed, he does turn bright red, so that you can also notice.
True.
One other thing I just want to say that I love, because it's coming up next month, Vintage Motorcycle Days, last week of July. I can't wait, Phil. I'll see you soon. Get the Benelli ready. Because I am going to win the Not a Race again. Yes.
Yes.
The only reason I didn't win it last time is because I had put on an Insta360 with the extension on the handlebars.
Mm-hmm.
And when I got over 40 miles an hour, it created a death wobble.
Oh.
I didn't know as I'm doing the track that you could retract it because somebody bolted it on for me. So I was like, you. Not this time. I'm going to win.
Okay.
So yeah, Vintage Days.
I will be rooting for you from California.
And I want to hear from people who are coming out to Vintage Days. Give me a shout out. Let me know who's coming. If you want to meet up, if you're going to be staying in our neighborhood, as we call it.
Do you require somebody to run the garage?
Yeah.
Well, that'll be me then.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I'm going to be gone in 2 weeks. I hope you're
Yes.
running. Okay. Yeah. So that's it. Things that we love. I think we're getting close enough time that we've got one email.
I don't
sent
have
to
it.
Bagel.
Oh,
Yes.
what's it? Where's it? Where's this person from, Bagler?
Well, this is from Maddie F.
Hey, Maddie.
Hello.
And he writes, Missy Howdfits. Wait, that's not right. Howdy, Misfits. Matt from Milwaukee, Oregon here. Yes, that's a place. Just south of Portland, about 6 miles from Zidell Yards.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I was
The
just there last
boy-
weekend.
The boysenberry was first grown here. Wow, that drifted off topic fast. I started riding in the winter of 23-24 on an 06 Vulcan 500.
Oh, you like that bike, Emma?
I love those bikes.
Yeah, fun was had. Beans were given.
Good.
Well, a couple of months ago, a lady in a minivan made a terrible split-second decision, and now I need a new bike to go with my new elbow.
Oh no.
Oh, Maddie.
Got any advice for a second bike? I, of course, love the Vulcan. Everyone loves their first bike, but I was ready for a little more, well, rawr.
Yeah.
They're great. To come back in exchange for the aforementioned beans being given. That says, thanks. Maddie F. P.S. brought a night banana to the one show on Saturday, but failed to run into any misfits.
I'm
too bad.
gonna throw a curveball out.
You know,
to
this is
Maddie.
my favorite game.
Oh, is it?
Advising people on their next bike.
Oh, I want to play this game.
Yeah.
All right.
So all we know
Unsolicited
is
advice.
that he lives in Oregon.
Is it Matt or Maddie?
Matty.
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 M-A-T-T-Y.
Oh, Matty. So it's a boy.
And so he had a Vulcan 500. So we can only surmise that the budget might be something small. What budget should we give on this?
It's probably extra small because
Like
he just had
$3,000 maybe.
He just got a new elbow.
$3,000, 2,500. Should we keep it simple?
No, hang the budget. He needs Panigale V4. No, V4S, no less. No, I'm going to throw a curveball out here. Matty, you need a Yamaha Bolt 950. That's what you need.
Wait.
Cruiser.
No, it's not a cruiser.
Oh.
It's a standard.
Yeah.
No. I mean, I don't know what it is.
The bolts are the cruisers. They have the XSR.
No.
It has the same bolt.
No.
motor.
No. XSR is a different bike.
XSR is like
But they're
the
all the same
retro-y
engine.
thing.
No.
No.
Bolt 950 is a V-twin. It's kind of a standard flat tracker thing. Get your phone, look it up. It's a glorious looking device. That's exactly what you need. And I'll tell you why you need it, Matty, because the Vulcan 500 was a standalone bike because it's kind of a cruiser, but it's kind of a standard as well. But of course, it's got this sport bike engine. So it's half a GPZ 1000 engine. That's what a Vulcan 500 is. And the Bolt 950, the only reason I bring it up is one appeared at my shop last week, and I'm like, oh, this is such a good bike. I'd forgotten how good they are. And they are different looking bikes.
Yeah.
They're very cool. Is that a cruiser or a standard?
It's really right in between.
Yeah.
It's got cruisery vibes, but it's kind of standard-ish.
And you could put,
I think
you can put knobbish tires on it and they look good. You can put sportish tires on it and they look good.
I think because the seat's quite low and the feet are a bit forward, it's more cruisery, which might be perfect for Maddie.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Well, the Vulcan's a cruiser, but that's Emma's advice. Yamaha Bolt 950. Thank you.
Cool.
Okay, my turn.
Yes.
Again, I have given the budget of about $3,000.
Okay.
And as
Harley Davidson,
we know,
Electric Glide Tourer.
I'll make you a deal. We were actually talking today about the prices have just crashed,
Crumbled.
in the market.
It's really hard.
Interesting enough, I was like reading off bikes that people owned. Most people know kind of what the value is of their bike, and then looking it up on Facebook Marketplace and saying, so what do you think it's worth, and being off by thousands of dollars.
Yes.
Thousands.
I've found that recently with my own bike.
So, one of the, if your first bike was a Vulcan 500.
That offer I made for you for the Nikon seems pretty generous now, doesn't it?
No. So this is a bike I think we can all agree would be an excellent step up. Excellent bike, best bang for the value. The old Versus 650. What do you mean, nah?
I mean, Maddie's a cruiser person.
Not necessarily.
Okay.
Babbling from the sick bed.
Not necessarily.
Babbling from the sick bed.
Versus 650 is an incredibly capable bike and incredibly affordable when you're getting into that price range. And as somebody who's cut their teeth on a cruiser, they're ready for something that's a little more spirited. I would recommend that.
I don't think it's got a great deal more power than a Vulcan 500. And on top of that, I think Matty will find it tall and awkward.
I disagree. Bagel, what do you think?
Well, I was going to say he specifically said he was looking for something with more RAR. So
yeah,
I'm
trust
not
me.
sure.
I had one.
You think it's RAR?
It's a kicking ass. It is a blast. But my other bike that I said, and I'm going by what I think a typical Portlandia motorcyclist would appreciate.
No, he's from Milwaukee.
I know, but I think check out the Royal Enfields.
Actually, the Royal, either the Royal Enfields, or I tell you what, if you come up with like $3,500, you can now enter the world of used Bonnevilles.
Yeah.
And they're great. That might be a good thing. Nice, like early 2000s Bonneville with open pipes on it.
That definitely is some RAR there.
So, I'm just trying to think. I always like to throw out the whammy. Ooh.
Ooh.
You know what? I will throw out the whammy, and I'm looking at a model of it right behind Emma. The Husqvarnas.
Oh, yes. Yes.
Yeah. Right?
Yes. Which one?
Is it the Smart Villain, the Pit Villain, the Villain Pit What do we call them again?
So
Vit Peeling.
I still have my
Yeah.
Vit Peeling 701. I wrote
Yeah.
it. I wrote it today. Super torquey, super fun.
Yep.
I got to play bike trade with the sadistic moto sluts, and we all played with each other's toys. And yeah, a couple people rode it, and were really shocked at how torquey that thing is.
And it's not retro, but it is kind of a weird, interesting.
The styling is very polarizing for
Let me
people.
see what
Yeah,
they're-
They
So
are
which-
a very interesting
This is
looking bike.
the Svart
Vit Peeling 701.
Vit Pillin.
But I think for Maddie, the Svart Peeling 701 would be more appropriate.
Vit Pillin 7. Well, we've made the commitment. Now these are near us, but just to give an idea. 4,000,
Yeah,
4,900, 3,700,
it's a
3,500, 20 of the 400.
the
you get
401s are much more common.
$2,500 for
Yeah.
a 401. They're
The
pretty
401
interesting.
So I rode one today. I rode a 401 today, and it is not as torquey. It's a single cylinder 400cc bike. But the 700 it's the 690 motor. Pretty torquey, single cylinder. It's about half of a Sportster 1200. It's about half as much displacement. It's about half as much weight.
So, for instance, I'm looking, this is in California, but a 2022 Svart Pillin for $3,700.
701 or 401.
It doesn't say.
They're almost all 401s. The 701's quite uncommon.
But, I'm just saying that they're in that range.
There you go.
It's a 401. Sorry.
Yeah.
But check out those Husqvarnas. They're kind of weird, funky, cool.
They're definitely funky, but I'm always worried about parts, always. And I recently had to order Husky parts. God, they took forever to come. So,
Don't crash it.
yeah,
Yeah.
Don't break it.
I'm just curious, Bagel,
Mm-hmm.
do you have a scooter you want to throw out into that to be considered?
Well, I guess the Piaggio BV500 is probably the biggest kick in the pants.
The Beverly?
Yeah, they're a torquey bike. I don't know how it compares to a Vulcan 500. It might not be quite as much of a kick in the pants, but that's kind of as big as they get in terms of scooters.
Well,
you could go Bergman
650.
But, right, but that's getting to be that's a whole new like Barca Lounger style thing. It's not the same riding experience.
So, no, hang on. I know we've talked about this before, but I would like to revisit it.
Okay.
So, if I was to get invited to a scooter rally, not a classic scooter, just a scooter rally, and I show up on a Bergman 650, will I be ostracized?
Yeah. Hesitation.
It's not the
Honesty is your best policy here, Bagel.
It's not the most popular scooter in the scooter community. There are certain there's different segments.
I feel
guess
you're being
the
invasive right now.
Well, there are maxi scooter groups who ride maxi scooters, and among them it's very popular. What
you're saying is, you'd be ostracized because you're in the wrong group. You would be an alligator showing up to a crocodile fest.
He's trying really hard not to say that.
I guess in a way, but it's like they're much bigger bikes. They're much faster bikes than most other scooters. They don't handle as nearly as nimbly as most other scooters do. So it's a very different riding experience, and having a mixed group riding together like that,
it simply doesn't wash.
It's kind of oil and water sometimes.
I see. Yes. Yes, we get it.
It depends who's riding, of course, and how they're riding and what roads.
There's such an exclusive bunch, these scooter people, aren't they, really?
I have a new answer.
Oh, do you really?
This is the best one.
It's not better than mine.
Yeah.
Oh, well, why don't you go then? Go ahead. And we shall see.
I think that for Maddie, who really wants to cruise and wants some more power.
It didn't mention. Rawr.
Yeah, rawr. An ST-1300.
No.
Ooh.
No.
Power. Plenty of power.
No.
Oh, yeah.
It's
a big bike.
It's a lot of bike. I don't know.
It's a lot of bike.
I'm gonna change the rules to the game.
Oh,
okay.
God.
Now you're gonna have the
No,
perfect answer.
you're going to change the rules. Now it becomes Liza's game.
Here's the rules I'm changing. Do not commit to buying a bike. Try many. I just went on Twisted Road.
Oh.
Typed in Portland to see what's available there. Listen to this smorgasbord of options that might all be contenders. How about a Ducati Scrambler?
Okay.
Could be. Yep.
How about a Yamaha MT-09?
Could be.
Maybe.
How about a Honda VFR 800?
Oh, I like that.
Yeah. How about a Triumph Bonneville T100?
That,
Definitely.
I think, may be definitely the one.
Maybe.
How about
definitely.
a Triumph Street Scrambler?
That's a good bike.
How about a Triumph Daytona 675R?
Nah.
Sporty bike.
Yeah. How about a Honda VTX 1300?
Yes.
Big bike.
Yeah. How about a Honda Super Cub? No, not that
No.
one. But let's see. A Harley Davidson Softail Street Bob. A Moto Guzzi V85 TT.
I think.
These are.
Conceptually,
what I'm
I love
saying
what you're
is-
getting at.
A Versus 1000.
That's a very good bike.
A Triumph Tiger 800.
Also a good
Mhm.
bike.
So.
Is there a Bolt 950 by any chance?
Nope, there is not. But all these bikes are near you. And I mean, we're free ad for Twisted Road because this is a great tool to use. When you're trying to figure out what is your next bike, go rent bikes for a day
Right, and I mean...
and try them.
exactly.
All different types.
Traditionally, you'd have to go to the dealership, and then if they let you loose on a bike, they'd let you loose for maybe an hour, and you need to make a decision, potentially a $10,000 decision. Which somewhere like Twisted Road,
and
got
a
it
lot
all
of dealers
day.
and a lot of dealers don't even allow test rides anymore.
Right.
Yeah.
And I mean, I vividly remember I went to the Triumph and said, I've got to have a Rocket 3. It's the greatest thing. I need a Rocket 3. And I wrote, this is great. And I'm like, to the salesman, can I just take it out for another hour? And he's like, yeah, all right. We're having a quiet day. And in that second hour, I decided oh God, no. I just couldn't. I loved riding it, but I couldn't live with it. It's just too big, too heavy, too much of a handful. And I bought a Bonneville.
Well,
I was very happy
and
with
let me
it.
see if this sways y'all. So Ducati Scrambler, $71 a day.
There you go.
Yamaha MT-09, $89 a day, but it gets better. How about that VFR 800? $65 for 24 hours. They even have a VFR 750 for $39.
Wow.
Some of these bikes are for sale on Twister Road, so you can test ride them. That Triumph Street Scrambler, $60.
Yeah.
How much for the Bonneville?
They're asking $81 a day. My point being is that MT-07, $60. Here, the Honda VTX 1300, $39.
Yeah.
Go rent a bike for a day.
Rent 3 bikes for a day.
Yeah.
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 And I think where Liza's going, though, makes absolute sense.
Well, here's what I'm going to say, Maddie. I'm giving you homework. Go rent some bikes, try them out. I would suggest try 3 different bikes and come on our show. I am giving you an invitation to give us your ride reports and assessment.
Oh, that's a good plan.
That'll be so
You
fun.
like that?
Yeah.
If you rent 3 bikes, it doesn't have to be all in one weekend, but I want your feedback. So, Maddie, let us know if you do that and if it works out, and I'll have you on the show. Sounds good?
Cool.
We are running out of time, so I just wanted to say go to motorcyclesandmisfits.com.
Yes.
I still have some T-shirts for sale.
You do.
People have been sending in some pictures of themselves in it.
And they have, and fine pictures they have
Yeah,
as well.
and if you have your shirt and you're out and about on a ride, send us your picture in the shirt on your bike, and I will share it on our social media.
Lovely picture from Mike Blake of a very picturesque scene in Austria.
Yes.
He's quite the traveler.
Castle.
Yes. You can tell it's Austria because there's a castle. Because they do like them out there, you know.
And you can send us an email at motorcyclesandmisfits@gmail.com. Let us know what rides you're doing. Let us know what bikes you want to review. I want to hear it all. Send it on. I think next week I'll do my big Where announcement. But to tease it, we're not going to say anything. But Scottie, I'm going to toss something to you. I just want to get your reaction.
Yeah, and don't look for bite marks in it either.
That is weighty.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll talk about that.
That is beautiful, too.
Next week.
Yeah.
So thank you, everyone. Thank you to our Patreon subscribers. You're the best. We love you the mostest.
And the fact is, we simply couldn't produce this show without you.
No, it's keeping me fed right now, so thank you. I'm ready to get out of here. How about you guys?
Yes.
All right, thanks, everybody. Time to get out of here. This is Liza.
Emma, darling.
Scottie.
Bagel.
And we are out of here.
Cool.